In my kitchen today, we're gonna be doing chicken noodle soup. Chicken noodle soup, guys, stay tuned. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Thank you, guys. But for our chicken noodle soup, what we're gonna use is, I've been down sick, so we're gonna do penne pasta and spaghetti. We're gonna use the chicken bouillon cubes, some sazon, MSG, some pepper, seasoning salt, garlic, potatoes, some thyme, a little margarine, and water. And for the spices, we're gonna use onions, bell peppers, yellow and green, some thyme, some garlic. We're also gonna use some chicken broth. But right now, we're gonna go ahead and this is the spice mix. What I always talk about. Well, in a couple of the videos that I did, I have just a couple videos, but you're gonna hear me talk about the spice mix. It's a Haitian spice mix down here in South Florida. I fell in love with some years ago, back when I was on 75th Street. So this had to be about 20 some odd years ago. My neighbor showed me how to make that. But this has all the onions, bell peppers, everything you need is in that jar. It's just blended together, and I'm going to show you in a video how I do that. But I'm going to put the chicken in the pot, and I'm going to add water with the chicken bouillon, and we're going to let that come to a boil. Again, about that spice mix, man, that spice mix is the real deal. I wanted to get the rest of that seasoning out of the bowl, but it is the real deal. That and Scotch bonnet peppers, I love spice, so you're going to see that in quite a few of my videos also. But I'm seasoning the meat now, just using some seasoning salt, some garlic powder. Then we're going to go ahead and sprinkle some MSG. I mean, if you don't, you can eliminate the MSG. I just like to use a little bit of it in certain dishes. We're going to go ahead and add some black pepper. We're going to sprinkle the black pepper over the chicken. And this is, I mean, whatever your seasoning blend, as if you would use stewed chicken, if you like the flavor that you use, that you get when you season the chicken, you can season it that same way. But these are the things that I prefer to put in my chicken. Okay, so these have been going for about 40 minutes. I took them out of the pot. I'm going to take all of the meat off the bone, but I'm adding my Scotch bonnet pepper, my garlic, my onions, my thyme. I'm just putting everything down into the pot. Stir those up. And actually, I'm turning up my fire up here because I'm going to add more water to it, because I want it to come to a boil again before I start adding the other things that I'm going to add to it. And again, when you add water to anything, you definitely need to re-season the pot. I let it come to a boil, and I'm going to go ahead and just re-season it with the things that I season the chicken with. But right now, I'm adding the penne pasta in there. And the penne pasta takes a little longer than the other pastas do, so I'm just adding that in. Now I'm going to just break up the spaghetti. But again, that spaghetti, it only takes a couple minutes for the spaghetti, about 7-8 minutes for the spaghetti. But that penne pasta, it's a tougher pasta, so we got to boil that a little longer. But I'm just breaking them. I broke those in half, just showing you that they were in half. So I'm going to sit those to the side and begin to re-season my pot. It smells, the smell in the house is really, really good. And again, there's no extra seasoning in there now. That was just the chicken. But I'm breaking another bouillon in there. So that's 2 bouillons total that I used thus far. Well, that's all I'm going to use, but that's 2 bouillons that I use for a pot this size. And here's where I re-season. That was the seasoning salt. Gonna get that in there. Gonna get our garlic powder in there. And all of these spices could be found at your local drugstore, Winn-Dixie, if you're up north a little bit, Piggly Wiggly, any of those stores like that, you can find it there, any supermarket. The potatoes, again, right now I have the penne pasta in the water and I just added the potatoes. So those are going to take about the same amount of time to cook. That was about 12 minutes, and I went ahead and now I'm adding the pasta to it. And notice it's not on a high heat. That's a medium high heat right there. And then I debone the chicken, and I'm just adding all of the chicken to it. I know right now it doesn't look like enough water, but just hold on. Now, for the color, I like to use the Sazón for that. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up first, but we're going to add some butter. Because I had a really, really bad cold, really, really congested. And man, this just did the job. I mean, and if you're up north in the wintertime, man, this is a hearty, this meal. Nothing like some good soup. So here I'm adding the Sazón. This is a pack. This is the entire pack that I'm going to add to this. But I did add an additional half pack off camera. It's a pretty decent sized pot that I have here. So, and then you see that the string spaghetti, the regular spaghetti, that's going to start cooking real soon. As soon as this water get back hot, that spaghetti will be done before you know it. That's why we added the penne pasta in there first. But once when you add the penne pasta in, you can check it for tenderness. When it's about done, you go ahead and you can start adding your other ingredients. But now I'm coming back with some chicken broth. Adding some chicken broth inside. I don't have the whole punched in here real good, but I'm going to use, I would say, about a cup of chicken broth. Because I already have everything nice and seasoned, and I don't want it over seasoned, but I'm going to use a cup of chicken broth. Shoot, from here, we just let it boil down. I would say I'm going to give this a good 5 minutes or so, and she'll be done. I'm really going to let it come to a nice rolling boil. Cover it back up, let it come to a nice rolling boil. Okay, guys. She's ready now. Again, I made this big pot of soup because I had like a really, really bad cold, and I wanted to have enough chicken soup for, well, I'm going to eat it today and tomorrow, probably tomorrow morning when I get up also. But that is the end result of the chicken soup. Oh, it was so tasty. It was so tasty. Thanks, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks again.